the sexual perversion that goes on in Washington. I mean, then all of a sudden you get invited to like, well, hey, we're gonna have kind of a sexual get together at one of our homes. You should come. And I'm like, and then you realize they're asking you to come to an orgy, or the fact that there's some of the people that are leading on the movement to try and remove addiction in our country, and then you watch them do a key bump of cocaine right in front of you. Now, this video was just stupid locker room talk between two cousins that grew up like brothers.
I'd like to see a naked body beneath my house.
Me too. Yeah. I'd like to do that as well. Yeah.
Now confirming that North Carolina Congressman Madison Cawthorn has been cited for bringing a loaded gun to the Charlotte airport today. This is according to the TSA and to police.
This article is pushing a ludicrous narrative that I'm some kind of drag queen on the side, not exactly the same journalistic standards as Fox or Newsmax.
That's a weird aside at the end. Anyway, that's Madison Cawthorn, congressman for now, because he actually lost his primary. We got one, not the one that I would have picked or for any of the reasons that I would have picked. That little mashup, which Brett Ehrlich did a great job in putting together, was just to remind you of a few of the things that the right has come at him over. The weird videos and stuff like that. The gun thing, that's really on him. The driving with a suspended license, the punching a tree and everything. He did a lot of weird stuff, JR, and he's a genuinely bad guy. Let's be clear about that. He deserves to be booted out of government and never allowed back in for a lot of reasons that there doesn't seem to be much evidence actually hurt him. But he was hurt and he did lose. And so that is good news. We should stop for a second and acknowledge that in not too many more months, we will no longer have to deal with Madison Cawthorn, at least for now.
Yeah, so a couple of things here. So first of all, he's gonna continue to blame Democrats as these things were happening, as this evidence and embarrassing videos and accounts came trickling out, as he called it, the drip, 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 came out. Bad choice for words for him there. But he was claiming it's Democrats, when in reality it was people that were sick of him. Now, we point out how the establishment Republicans, or maybe just people who want to stop having that distraction there, were potentially doing this stuff to him and set him up. But what was the reason? It wasn't just that they did it and therefore it seemed to do him in, but they were upset about other things he was doing. So it was the public things he was doing. They were like, we got to get rid of this guy. Maybe it was the DUIs. Maybe it was the way he's talking about the key bump of cocaine off of a hooker's butt. I don't know what it is that actually pushed him to that point. It definitely wasn't the fact that he continued to follow Donald Trump and parrot everything he was saying and talk about the violence he's gonna have against his political opponents. And I don't wanna have to pick up a gun and actually kill people. Hey, mothers, raise your children to be monsters. Yes, he said that. All those things didn't bother them as much as probably that line about what Republicans and I guess what he says his colleagues do in Washington, D.C., but it did him in. And now the next question, my second part about this is what's next? And I mentioned it earlier on my show. What, a podcast? Is he gonna continue to spew these lies? Or as Anna and Cenk hoped last night, will he spill the tea? Name names.
I mean, look, maybe. The question, there are many questions. One of the fundamental questions is the stuff about the parties and the cocaine or whatever, was any of that based in truth? If so, how much? Or was he just wildly exaggerating, or was he making up the entire thing? Because which of those is the truth will influence what he has to say coming out now. Aside from that, was he on the in enough to really know much? I mean, he got into office. He didn't legislate, like he wasn't involved in any of their efforts in terms of policy. He mostly spent his time going on Fox News, going on podcasts, trying to be cool. I have no doubt that he's readying, the album cover art for his podcast already at this point. And he's gonna wanna say stuff to get people to follow him, but will any of it be based in truth? Will he, like, if he just outright lies about them, could that even possibly hurt him? I honestly have no idea at this point. It does seem bizarre that, as weird as the comment about the cocaine and the orgies and all that was, that you would do so much to take him down based on that. I think that was more so just the straw that broke the camel's back. I think he was seen as a needless distraction. I think he was seen as a loose cannon. Marjorie Greene and Lauren Boebert are every bit as crazy, if not crazier than him, and every bit as, totally accepting of fascism, white supremacy, all that. But they targeted all their fire outside of the party. Marjorie Greene generally, she targets everything, common sense, rationality. Madison Cawthorn didn't seem to have the correct targeting in mind for that. And maybe it wasn't so much about the comments that we saw, it was their fear that, well, what's he gonna be saying in a year or two, you know? Maybe it was preemptive damage control.
Yeah, maybe they read the political winds, because again, Mark Meadows was kind of his mentor, even when he's just getting in office, and he kind of abandoned him a bit there, even from the beginning. So maybe they just saw where this was going, and maybe they determined how much of a self-serving person Madison could be, and that's still the degree. How much is he self-serving that he's willing to detach from these people who assisted him get in the position, but then also potentially seem to get him booted out? Is he bitter, or is he like, I need to ingratiate myself further? That's really the question no one knows, and it'll tell what he does next.
Yeah, well, we're gonna talk about next steps in a sec, but we do have a little bit more of some of what he got up to during his time. Consider this a bit of his political in memoriam, at least for now. Here's what Brett Ehrlich stitched together for us.
Your left-wing movement is forcing children to endure radical expressions of sexuality. Science is not Burger King. You can't just have it your way.
Because Dr. Fauci knows he's been working as a pawn of the Chinese Communist Party. Eternal souls woven into earthen vessels, sanctified by Almighty God and endowed with the miracle of life, are denied their birth by a nation that was born in freedom.
Take notes, Madam Speaker. I'm about to define what a woman is for you. XX chromosomes, no tallywhacker. It's so simple.
It's so simple. This is honestly, like, if I was, maybe not Ben Shapiro, but if I was one of the second or third order clones of Ben Shapiro, I'd be worried, because just unleash that guy on a microphone. He is every bit as crazy, dumb, and confident as all of them. Like, why would someone listen to Charlie Kirk when they can listen to this guy? He's more enthusiastically ignorant than even Charlie Kirk can manage. And he has more interesting, he's willing to talk about the cocaine parties. Charlie Kirk keeps that part a little bit quiet, a little bit hush hush. So anyway, I think he is likely to go into right-wing media, which is effectively the exact same thing as being a Republican congressman at this point. The question for you, JR, is will he run again? Will he run for Congress? Will he possibly try to become a senator next time?
That's
He's
crazy.
Still very young.
No, that's crazy, man. It's crazy only because I never even imagined that was a possibility. And I guess
why not?
My answer is based in there's no possibility. How? Who's gonna back him? Who's gonna support him? They just ran his ass out. Like, are they gonna now re-up an entire campaign to help him? They don't want to do it for Donald Trump, but they're doing it just because they have no other choice, because he's their master. They hate Donald Trump more than they probably hate this guy, but they're pushing because he's got that much influence. Now, Madison was trying to be a kingmaker. He had some endorsements. He was trying to be a miniature Donald Trump within his own state. And I think last I heard, his couple of endorsements were doing decently last night. I still don't know who they are. Sorry, apologies for that. But no, I just don't think they think he's worth it. You'd have to think that he's worth it. And Lindsey Graham outlines exactly how he feels about Trump and how he's a disaster, but he's worth it because he's generated enough of their racist base to keep all of them in power. They have no use for Madison Cawthorn anymore.
I will simply say this. I do not think we have seen the last of Madison Cawthorn.
Politically, I think politically speaking, but not politically in office.
Okay, well, we should have a bet.
What's your basis?
We'll talk
for this?
about a bet.
Why do you think this is possible?
Because he's effectively like every other one of them. He is just entitlement. Like, he's entitlement with a quaff. That's all it is. You think this dude is just gonna go like get a regular job or whatever after this? No, he is tapped in. He wants to continue. He wants to chase that high. Maybe not at an orgy, but he wants to chase that high. And so I think he will. Along the way, by the way, I do want to give him this. The guy has already made history multiple times. First, on his way in, he was the youngest person ever elected to Congress. And now he has made history again. He is the youngest Republican ever to lose a primary election after being the incumbent. So congratulations for you. And with that, we just have to formally say goodbye. So to the director, could we jump to the last graphic actually? Because I'm not that great with words. And so I want to say something inspiring towards him. I'm not so good. I'm gonna actually go with one of his classic quotes, "Cry more, lib." I almost swore.
I know it.
I'm just gonna say that. What a jackass. I can say that, right? Such a jackass.
We know what you were gonna say. And I'm glad you were going to say it. The only thing is that was stuck out to me about that tweet from 2020 when he won. He's speaking to one particular lib. I just don't know who he's talking to. It's not Cry More Libs. It's Cry More Lib.
I don't.
There's
know.
one.
I don't know.
There's one.
By the way,
it's a special lib.
I just gonna finally say. So we know he was like he wanted to go see the Eagle's Nest and the Fjords, his bucket list and everything. So like think about all the crazy, racist, insane, violent things this guy said when he thought he had to run for re-election. Hold on to your butts for what he says now that he's unleashed. He is gonna be unrefined.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.